Good morning, everyone. Hello. I don't know what happened to Carlos again. He was here. I was expecting him to say, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. Peter, how was your morning? Hey, thanks, Carlos. My morning's going great. It's rainy out here in Ottawa, but I've got sunny spirits inside and ready for a market day of hopefully some good trading. Looking forward to it. How's your day, Carlos? My day's going good so far. Got the kids off to school. You know, it's busy all the time when you're a parent with young kids, but otherwise life is good. Peter, why don't you tell us about the economic calendar? Well, thanks, Carlos. I'll tell you about that. We only have really one thing on the economic calendar this morning that you want to look at. ADP employment came out earlier this morning, a little bit above target. I guess that's good. More jobs, 128,000. Was the forecast. 143 was reported, and the rest of the day is basically just all these Fed speakers. It is Brian's been commenting on this in the chat room. It is interesting how it used to be, you know, back in my day, it was just the Fed chair that spoke, right? Everyone else never had any market time or day. Now it's like every Fed speaker's out there. Some of the I've never even heard of these. Who's Hammock? Who's Musalim? St. Louis Fed. I mean, they're out making, you know, conversation pieces all over the place. So I don't know. Anyways, everybody's talking, but really all that matters is when Powell talks, because as we keep seeing, that moves the market. Later this week, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday are when we get some of the more interesting economic data. So nothing else there. Carlos, why don't you tell us about the gap resist? What's happening there? Well, sure, Peter. Gappers list is, we got a few things on the Gappers list this morning, some up and some down that we need to take a look at. Let's dig in deeper there. As you can see, we've got a lot more gapping up than gapping down. Let me start at the top of the list and take a look at the first one on there. It seems to be Becky. We looked at this yesterday. I'm not trying to do a Carlos. He doesn't really have an accent, right? Can't do a Carlos voice. Anyways. This is hard having a conversation with yourself. What happened? I was hoping Carlos would be back by now. Guys, I'm a little thrown off here. He was here. We said hi, and then he's gone. I don't know what.
Yeah, sorry. I think he's having Phoenix issues.
Yeah, clearly. All right. So does that mean we don't have Carlos and we don't have Carlos?
I see him now.
Oh, he's back.
Hey, good morning, Peter. You got that pretty right. You got that pretty good.
Yeah, so well, we've done it a few times.
Yeah. All right, guys, just give us a second. We're trying to get my screen in here. I mean, we're trying all kinds of stuff the last couple of days, but trust me, we'll get it right. We'll get it right, and it'll be nice and smooth going forward. But just trying a couple of things here as we continue to improve the show. So be patient with us as we do that. But yeah, Peter, I did not hear the part about the economic calendar. Did you go through that already?
I did. Thanks for the prompt.
Let's hear it.
You helped me. We had a whole conversation about it, so it was good.
Yeah, just I briefly forgot about it, but good stuff. All right, friends. Let's take a look at our gappers this morning. Once again, Chinese tickers are just leading the way here. I mean, double digits on Becky, Billy, Futo is up 12%, and then everybody else following suit again. So once again, they're just taking over the gap up list. They are just crushing it. I really had my money on these stocks selling off yesterday. I mentioned I think Bob is going to sell off. Like, you know, the market is closed, but no, the Hong Kong market at least. But it didn't matter. It did not matter. These things are hot, and they continue to push higher even yesterday. So, and then towards the rest side of things, we got a few on there. The one we're looking forward to the most is Nike. That should be fun today. They got some news Peter's going to let you know about in just a minute here. Yeah, we'll dive into some of these, and we'll start with Becky. So taking a look at Becky this morning, we are down. And with this, just I'm not sure if you mentioned this, Peter, but just so much stuff happening outside of the markets, right? We got the port strike here in Newark. We have the situation in the Middle East continues to get hotter, not in a good way, and just a lot that can, if it continues, Peter, then we could start seeing some effects in the market. My wife tells me this morning, right? See how messed up we have been over the years. She tells me, "Do I need to go to Costco and start buying a bunch of stuff, right? With this strike, with this port strike, and all this stuff happening?" I'm like, not yet, honey. We're good. We don't need to start stacking up on anything. Yeah, we're not there yet. But if it does continue, it can start affecting things. But we're long ways from that.
And then
All right, let's take a look here.
you-
Yeah.
the political agenda continues. There was a vice presidential
Yeah.
debate last night. I find the vice president role in the U.S. a very strange one. It's not, I don't know of an equivalent role in any other country. Maybe there is. We don't really have an equivalent in Canada, anyways. But the vice president is the most important non-influential role in the world, I think, right? Like, you'd think being vice president
Yeah.
of the United States of America is a big job, but it seems like it's like there's absolutely no power. Nobody cares. Doesn't really matter who it is. All the power sits in the seat of the president. Why are they even there? Like, it seems like the first person, the first lady traditionally, has more influence than does the vice president generally. Like, anyways, I mean, I know there is actual importance. They go on diplomatic missions. They do things with the voice of the president when the president can't be there. But it seems like there's not a lot of independent influence or power. So anyway, because I was reading reviews of the vice presidential debate, and they were saying who won, right? Obviously, it was Vance versus Waltz, and it was actually a very traditional type of debate, right? They actually talked about issues. They were polite to each other. They talked about the issues for the most part, anyways. It was actually, it felt comfortable for me watching. Well, I didn't watch. I just watched the review, and it seemed like it was more reasonable. But then, it's like the couple articles I read, they said, but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Doesn't actually affect the outcome.
Yeah. I didn't even watch it last night. Like, nobody
right.
cares. I didn't even watch it last night. I was like, okay, yeah, they're on that. They're fine. But, Peter, a lot of people do hate the U.S., so you got to have a person, that can step up if anything happens. So that's another reason, That's probably the only time you really hear from, like, oh, this person's taking over because something happened, right? So it is what it is.
It does feel like, the vice president is like a living insurance policy for the United States, right? Nobody ever wants to pay the premium, but you need it there just in case. So, and you hope you never have to use it. So that's the vice president role in a nutshell to me.
Yeah. Friends, let's jump right in. First one on deck is going to be Becky. I can't get my screen up, so I'll need the help either from you, Peter, or maybe Brent. I'm not sure how we'll do it, but if you guys pull up Becky on your screen this morning, we are up 13.2 right now, 3.3 million shares traded. Again, and with that, I mentioned earlier, all the Chinese tickers, Futu, Billy is on here. I got Tao, I got JD, I got XPEF, you name it, they're on this list. Just all of them, and Baba and PDD are the two that I've been watching. So Baba and PDD have been on my list quite a bit, but they're all, trading very, very well. Peter, have you been looking at, I know you're not a big Chinese stock trader, but have you been looking at any of these in the last couple of days?
I mean, I peeked at them yesterday. Like you said, they were moving. I was sort of surprised that they had any motion whatsoever. Baba and JD are the two that I tend to watch most closely. Both, had a very similar pattern. They just sort of slowly rose up to the right, a little, just, so going higher. Not big, massive trades, but as Gary, I think, was saying in the chat room, Gary L., who had a record day yesterday, by the way, congrats to Gary, a little shout out to him. He had two. He said he had the best day ever on Monday, and then followed up with his new best day ever on Tuesday. So Gary was pretty chuffed in the room, doing good. But he said, "I wish I just got Baba and just held on all day." And he's not wrong. Like it really just sort of just kept going up. I mean, a couple little blips along the way, but nothing goes straight up. So it was I don't know, Carlos. I mean, I'm not sure what to expect now for today. Remember, now we're on the second day, I guess, of the markets being closed out there in China. So, or they've already been closed through the second day because the market day is over, but the markets weren't open. So who knows what's going to happen today? I'll keep them off to the side for interest, but still not likely to trade them.
Yeah.
Becky. Oh yeah, you were mentioning Becky, by the way. That's at the top
Yeah.
of our gap list. It's sort of odd to me how much this is moving, because if you remember Becky, it used to be on our list a lot more because it's a real estate holding company in China, and they had a lot of news. They had I can't remember the number. It was something in the billions where they had these buildings that they were abandoning because they just didn't have the financing fell through to finish them, and it was like it seemed like entire neighborhoods they were building where they were putting up these massive, like, 20-story skyscrapers in a matter of like a week and a half. And anyways, they got halfway through building 3 or 4 of them that they couldn't finish, and I think they ended up getting like knocked down. They basically built them up, financing fell through, and a month or 2 later they just knocked them back down. So but anyways, if you look at the Becky stock over the last couple of days, I mean, it's been on a tear, last week or so, and it's up again this morning quite a bit. I don't know. I don't like the trading on this as well. It's not as I don't know. It just doesn't seem as safe. Maybe that's just my perception, but I mean, this morning I can't argue it's not in play. 3.4 million shares traded already, so maybe we should just make some money off this thing.
That sounds like a plan to me. But yeah, really, really active this morning, guys. Again, like with the other Chinese tickers, I'm going to be watching. I already have BABA. I'm going to put PDD on my secondary list. Those will be my 2 go-to on this Chinese list. But again, you can pick your favorite. Obviously, there's plenty to choose from here. All right, let's head over to the gap up list. Trying to check if there's anything else on here that is not Chinese. TME, I believe, also Tencent Music. They could have their own thing going on, but again, just probably similar stuff there. Neo, yeah, I think everything else on here is, CVS is not Chinese. We know that. So CVS is up 3.2, 473,000 shares traded, Peter. Usually they move like this when they have some kind of news. So what's the latest and greatest this morning?
Yeah, well, there is a couple of news. It's all rumor. Remember that there was an activist investor that had joined the board, starting to create some waves. So that's causing some interest, challenges. I don't know what to call it, but it's causing change, anyways, over at CVS. They announced yesterday midday that they were considering layoffs, but I mean, we're talking about 2,900 layoffs, which of course, if you're one of those 2,900 people, it's extremely impactful. But for the size of the company and how many people they employ, that is nothing. That's just a normal day, I would think, almost at CVS. They have announced that they're potentially looking at breaking the company up, maybe separating the healthcare business from the retail side, which would be interesting because I think, I don't know, one of the things that keeps it stable is the fact that they've got those different businesses that can, sort of be up at different times. I don't know. But anyways, that's just one of the things that they are evaluating, and they haven't actually decided that they're going to do that. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it just seems like it's in the news, and that's keeping it moving a little bit more with more volume than we normally see. Not good trading, though. Like, the trading hasn't gotten any better. This is a NYSE stock, and New York Stock Exchange stocks, as many of you know by now, are not my favorite just because they trade a little bit differently. At least you have to be more cautious. Some of them can be great. You just have to be aware that the price action can be a little jerkier on this because it's more manually managed than the automated way in which NASDAQ stocks are generally managed. So, but news on CVS, so it might be worth keeping on your list if you're interested. I probably won't be doing anything. I might peek in on it once or twice over the day, but that'll be about it.
Yeah, same. I don't like the way this thing trades, and I usually end up avoiding it. Let's head over to our gap down, right? So our gap down this morning, if you take a look here, we have only 3: HUM, Nike, and RKLB. I think it's Rocket Lab, right? If I remember the name correctly. Nice name. Let's take a look at HUM first. This morning, these guys are down 20%, 1.5 million shares traded. So, Peter, they're not doing too hot this morning. Quite a bit of a drop. They started selling off yesterday, looks like, during the market hours, going from 315 over down to 280. And today, the high is 280, as low as 205 so far in the pre-market. So, who's getting fired here? Who's messing up in the last couple of days?
Yeah, I would think if they were going to fire anybody, it's probably already happened because this is late news, but this is a healthcare company. You guys probably know it well in the U.S. I don't really know it that well myself, but I've heard the name. I think I've seen their ads or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, they have two problems, it seems like right now. One is that the number of memberships in their highest rated Medicare plans has declined. And obviously, the highest rated plans are usually the most lucrative for them. So lower membership is bad. And apparently, more crucially, I don't honestly quite know what this means, but they had a drop in their crucial Medicare quality rating. I mean, I guess I can understand that. Your quality rating drops, you probably get less doctor recommendations. I don't quite understand the impact, but their quality rating's gone down, and that would drastically apparently affect their revenue. So I don't know the inner workings of the U.S. medical system. I could go on a rant about that, but I'm sure that's going to get people angry. Anyways. The medicals, the
It's okay,
Medicare,
Peter. Get people fired up, man. I don't mind if you get U.S. viewers fired up. Just do it.
I'll just say from a high veneer, people like to make fun of Canada with our free healthcare and stuff, but it's not efficient. But the U.S. has one of the least efficient and most expensive healthcare systems in the entire world. Like every single study proves that, and yet nobody seems to want or be able to fix this thing. Like it just seems I don't understand it. It boggles my mind how nobody can fix such an important thing for social well-being. Everybody acknowledges that, and yet, anyways, I scratch my head all the time.
It's there are people making too much money to get this fixed, Peter. That's the answer. There's a group of people that are making so much money that
right.
there's no incentive to get this fixed by the people that can. And those that tried, you either become unalive or they pay you so much to change sides that they make you an offer you can't refuse. So it's just no winning on this.
Right, and as people are saying, like it is like a political conversation point, like almost every single election cycle. Less so I found in the last couple of years, or last two cycles, because there's been other weirder things to talk about. But it's been on the plate for like decades, and yet frankly not much has changed. Obamacare was probably the biggest change to it, as everybody knows, whether you love or hate that. But even that was anyways, it's interesting. It's fascinating from an outsider to look in and say, wow, like it's just odd. Anyways, all right, let's move on. So Humana has some challenges with their Medicare quality rating, and it's dropping. Another one, like, I don't know, like I just generally feel that this sector doesn't trade. It's not a good trading stock. You don't get the big order flow momentum that you often need to trade it well. But looking at how it's doing this morning, such a big drop early on in the morning, I'm thinking when the big money gets into this, because they haven't spoken yet, we could see some decent movement. Like it's already down 18%. That's big. Like that's big for this company. We're not talking about a small company here. It's a $34 billion company with 120 million shares in the float. I'm thinking this thing could move. So probably worth putting on the list.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it here on a secondary because again, I don't think they usually trade very well, but today could be their day. They are definitely in play, guys. With the way they're moving this morning, and then we have Nike here today. Nike, obviously, with some news, down 7.8 this morning, 1.5 million shares traded. It started last night after the close. You see the movement here, and then the big drop into an hour or two after the market closed. Peter, latest and greatest on Nike.
Yeah, well, this was earnings, our only earnings play really after the close yesterday, and I mean, there's none this morning, so I guess it was the only earnings out there. And yeah, it was sort of interesting. It did the usual little dance right when the news came out on the earnings. I know that Brian was watching that. I was sort of hanging around as he was watching it. He did trade it. I actually traded it long. You can see the big pop up it made very quickly, and then reversed course and went lower. So they had a very mixed picture. They missed on their top line revenue, but they beat on earnings, so they're keeping their costs under control. I think the big thing that happened was a little bit after the main earnings announcement. They actually pulled back their guidance. They didn't issue new guidance, but they said, "Yeah, we're going to relook at our guidance for the year." And that combined with, again, the lower sales revenue in the quarter and the concern over the fact that their sales are expected to continue to dip, especially as we're heading into this crucial holiday season. We haven't even talked about that yet, but I mean, it is fall, and you know what follows fall is winter, and that's the whole Christmas season when Nike usually gets a boost, like a lot of these companies in their space do. There's a lot of doubt as to whether they're going to maintain their sales levels. So yeah, Nike's not seeing a lot of good news here this morning.
Yeah, not looking so good right now. And that covers our gap up and down. And then, and Peter, we'll go to you. I don't think we talked about any of your lists on the gap up. We could do both now. Do you have anything both up and down that you're watching that might not be on this list today?
Dell was at the top of my list. It's sort of dead flat right now. I mean, it's officially down by 4 cents, but it's pretty much flat. Big news yesterday on Dell. I don't know if it's going to continue to affect the stock or not, but Michael Dell, the founder and the person whom the company is named after, um, with basically took a ton of money out. He cashed in 10 million shares worth $1.2 billion. And that was sort of, I mean, it's not a signal of non-confidence, but it is, sort of him taking a lot of money out of the company all at once. And it's funny because he floated trial balloons over the last 2 months about taking, I saw 5 million shares, 8 million shares, finally decided on 10 million shares. So, that's a lot of, anyways, a lot of equity that comes out of the company for him, and a lot of shares that go back into the market. So maybe he needs to buy something. Maybe he's getting divorced. I don't know what's going on, but I have no idea. Is he even married? I'm not sure. But anyways, he took out 10 million shares, which leaves him, by the way, with 16.9 million shares. So this is not quite. It's about 40%, 30 to 40% of what he had, which is, there you go. Zen Trader's got the number, 38%. That's a pretty big percent. So, I mean, I'm not sure what you would need 1.2 billion to go buy, but Carlos, what would you buy with 1.2 billion? You got anything?
I mean, I don't even know what's even close to that price tag. A planet? He's buying a planet, maybe? I mean, I don't know.
A rocket ship? You could get into the space game yourself. Or, I mean, a yacht is the normal one, yes, because they can buy even a yacht. Though you really only need a couple $100 million for a yacht. You don't need $1 billion for that.
Then you probably could cover the maintenance for like a year, right? The maintenance is where they get you. It's never the price. It's can you afford it past the year, right? That's where they get you. It's the maintenance,
Oh, there you go.
That
Jeff TX, a sports team. There you go. That could be it. Yeah. Do we know any sports teams that are up for sale? Maybe he's looking to buy himself a sports team. That could be it. Anyways, whatever the reason is, he took a lot of money out of the company, and so that way I'm watching Dell. All right, we don't want to digress too much. We talked about Nike, so that was the other one that I was going to mention. Tesla. We should keep an eye on Tesla. I have not seen any numbers. Has anybody that we're waiting for their third quarter deliveries to understand what those numbers look like? I think they're only coming out a little bit later this morning. To be honest, I don't actually know the time. I know it's supposed to be this morning, but they tend to work on a West Coast time, so it'll probably be out later this morning. But I don't I don't know. I don't know what time that's happening, but either way, Tesla actually moved well yesterday. It was in play a lot more than I expected. I thought we'd have a quiet day, in the day in advance of this deliveries. But if you look at that, look at the drop off the open on Tesla yesterday. If you weren't there watching it, it was actually an impressive move, and then it came back and recovered like 90% of it over the course of the day. So some interesting movement on Tesla yesterday. Uh, there you go, Carlos. Now you see. You can't miss it once you see it. Look at that. It just dropped, and that's like what is that? Like a $14 drop. Like that's not nothing. So, and I said it came back and recovered most of it. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. One way or the other, the numbers are going to come out, and we're going to see an impact. Ben E is saying that they're due at 9 a.m. So that could be. Well, we'll see. I'll let you guys know if they come out while we're still doing the show here this morning. So, but anyways, that's the other one that I'm watching because of those numbers to come out. Carlos, I don't really have anything else. I mean, the semis, always good to watch. NVIDIA, AMD, of course, as we mention every day. But there's no particular news, nothing, extraordinarily interesting. Speaking of not being interesting, SMCI had their 10-for-1 stock split yesterday. I was hoping that would be interesting. It was not. It really especially the opening hour of the market. It was horrible trading, just horrid.
Yeah.
So I gave up watching it. It did make a move lower later in the morning, but yeah, just look at those candles at the open. It was not pretty. So it turned out to be a little bit of a bust there. But you know what? If I think back, I think when NVIDIA had their big stock split as well, it also was, not as fun as I thought it would be right at the open, and then it got fun later. So maybe SMCI will follow that path where, the fun is yet to come. We can only hope.
I agree. We'll see. Let's hope. Yeah. All right, friends. One that keeps going back and forth here is Rocket Lab, RKLB. I guess it keeps going between 2% and under 2%, so it's coming off and on our campers list. It is here today. Doesn't look really that in play. I mean, you have a little bit of action this morning, a little bit of volume, but again, doesn't look anything overly exciting on it. So unless there are any news, Peter, any major news, I'm going to skip on it and move on to our chat room.
They did have an upgrade. I don't know. They finished the build on a second spacecraft that they were making for Varda Space Industries. I have to admit, I don't know what Varda is doing with it, but presumably going to space. But I don't know what this. It's a. And Varda successfully landed the re-entry capsule in the Utah desert, blah blah blah. Anyways, I don't know. They're building re-entry capsules. So, it doesn't. That's like not new news. Like I'm not sure why today. So I haven't seen anything bad or good on Rocket Labs to justify its move.
All right, there we go.
I saw someone mentioning my good buddy Joby.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat room mentioned Joby. Joby. Apparently, Toyota has made a significant $500 million investment in Joby, which is interesting to me. Remember Joby, guys? This is the automated robo air taxis. It's like a giant. It's a giant drone that you can climb into. Which I have already said, and will stick to. I am not climbing into it, even if Toyota is investing in it. But that's good news for them. That $500 million and the backing of Toyota and their engineering team. I would suppose because they'd want to protect their investment. If Joby chose to call on them, would is not a bad thing. So, but there's no way. Steve, look, you're right. I want to. Like it's fascinating for me. I'd love to, but I just don't. I'm not willing to risk my life. I would like jump out of an air. I would parachute before I would do this. And my wife's already told me many years ago I'm not allowed to do that. So I think this goes on the list. By the way, keep in mind I've been married for like 35 years. So she was very clear that skydiving and bungee jumping are two things that I'm not allowed to do just because they're risky. I got to think riding an electric electric drone is probably on the list now too. We haven't actually talked about it, but I'll have to ask her. But anyways, I'm putting it on the list.
Yeah. There you go. All right, friends. Let's take a look at the chat. See what you guys like this morning. I saw someone mention
Fine.
Futu earlier. Here, let's take a look. Futu right here. FU2U. I'm sorry. What?
Tesla. Looks like the numbers are out.
Oh, numbers are out. Okay, let's take a look here. Tesla. Okay. Little drop there. Let's see how that does in a couple of minutes here.
Don't see the numbers, but somebody's seen some numbers, or at least is taking an advanced guess, because that was quite a spike. That was maybe they were wrong. Now we're right back up. Now we're going higher.
Oh, look at that.
This is
wow. Who's trading this right now, and how are you trading this?
Yeah, like, can you imagine? So,
crazy.
Guys, this is exactly the type of thing we warn about when we see like the low floats. I mean, it's trading like a low float because it's got lower volume right now. But yeah, like, Carlos, can you imagine if you think, it's going high, so you jumped in thinking you're going to get a spike higher, and then bam, you get taken down by $6.
Slammed.
Like, just in how long did that take? Like 2 seconds, right? Like, that was
seconds.
Anyway.
I mean, it's brutal. So be careful. We're going to let this thing settle down. It is in play today. It is on my list. 2.1 million shares and climbing. Let's see where this thing wants to go. Right now, it's just all over the place. The only person I see this trading is Jared. Jared will be going long, like at 252 somehow. He's done that before plenty of times. He catches these bounces. It's just unbelievable. So let's see where this thing wants to end. Again, Tesla's been, if you look at the daily, it's been on a tear over the last couple of days, doing very, very well. And they got their robo-taxi coming up in 2 weeks, right? October 10th. So we'll see where things end. All right, let's go back to you guys. What do you guys like? I was mentioning here, what was it? Futu. So Futu falls into that Chinese situation there. Tons of Chinese tickers up this morning. Again, the China stock with the Chinese stimulus continue to run here, right? So if you look at our gappers list, they're all here. This is no different. This is in play. I have BABA as well. I have PDD. We're seeing a little bit of a pullback from the pre-market highs, but again, they're in play. I'm going to be watching BABA and PDD. You can watch many, even like Billy and Becky are leading the way as far as the percentage of gap up this morning and volume. Peter, you mentioned volume on Becky was like 3.8, right? Now is 5.1. I mean, it's just continues to pour in volume. So got a lot of volume going through that one. Right. What else, friends?
Hello?
I see Tesla being mentioned.
Man.
Yeah, I hear you, Peter. Go ahead.
Hey, Elon?
Elon is calling him. Hold on.
What's going on with your stock, man? What can you just give me the delivery numbers? Come on, man. Like, just tell me what's happening. Like, your stock's going crazy. I woke you up? Tough, man. We're doing a show here. Okay. Oh yeah. Same to you, buddy. Oh, hey. Oh, sorry. Anyways,
I forgot to hit the mute button, but that's okay.
Yeah, I thought I hit the mute. Sorry about that. Elon's grumpy this morning. I don't think the numbers are good, but he wouldn't tell me. So I'm not sure.
He is in California time, so it's pretty early over there.
That's
waking him up.
You know what?
Yeah.
He's not. You want to run a big company? You can't sleep. So you got to take my call.
Got to be ready, baby. Got to be ready.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Tesla is on deck this morning. I do have that one here up climbing as far as volume. Oh, here we're settling towards the downside. Looks like. Let's see where this goes. Looking forward to. Hopefully, it doesn't get too extended. I want to see some action at the market open on this. So we can take advantage of it. But it's starting to settle down. Looks like at the moment. All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
I got the numbers on Tesla.
What else?
It looks like they. It seems like they delivered 462,890 vehicles. I got two different reports that give that same number, so that's clearly what they released. The question seems to be on what the delivery expectations were. They're somewhere around 462,000, maybe 463,000, maybe 470,000. Different people seem to think that the target was different. So the reports are they just met. Oh no, they just missed. But anyways, they were pretty much right in the ballpark. So it doesn't look like their delivery was, off what the expectation was really. So that might explain why this thing is popping up and down. So it should settle. By the time we get the big volume when the open happens, I think this thing will settle down. But still, should be some fun.
Yeah. It should be, will be on my list here, guys. Looking very good. Volume is insane right now. Really like what I'm seeing. All right, over to you guys. Let's pick a few more. 905. We can't do too many, but we'll pick a few here. We got Tesla is good. PLTR is another one that has been on our list plenty of times. Today seems quiet. 750 is not a lot for PLTR. They did put up a lot of volumes, and so 750 is not great. Don't be confused by this small candles you see here. They're small because this one blew everything out the water. I think it's like 50 million shares traded on this day. I forgot what news it was, but they have massive volume. We were watching it that morning. These candles are 70 million, almost 50 million. They're pretty big as far as volume. Again, don't let this one throw you off. They're making the rest smaller, but they get ton of volume in the morning, and it usually doesn't mean they're in play. I don't see anything overly exciting today on PLTR, so be careful on that one. Oxy was in play a few days ago. I have not kept up with it. Oh, big day yesterday on Oxy. So let's take a look here. Nice move on Oxy, at least on the daily, and it looks like it was really clean, right? They give you nothing pre-market and just took off here and traded very, very well. Same thing today, pre-market. They're not going to give you a whole lot, so you really got to watch the stock. Looks like it has been active over the last couple of days, right? A week or so, because we saw the drop as well was clean. This is when we started kind of watching Oxy again. It hasn't been doing much since then. Could be exciting today. Could be. I'm going to put it on a secondary here. We have so much going on as far as news, oil prices, everything overseas. I mean, yeah, I think it could be interesting. We'll see. All right, friends, over in our YouTube chat, I think we have to stop here. Yeah, I think we got a pretty good list so far this morning. I gotta add some more here in just a second. Nike, we did talk about Nike. I have not added to my list, but I will, because I would like to see where this goes today. So Nike will be on here. 1.7 million shares traded. We are down 7.5. Again, they removed their forecast and a bunch of things, just kind of resetting with the new men coming in, the new CEO taking over, right? So things would change. We had the gap up when that happened, when that new announcement happened, and now they're just kind of pulling all the numbers to kind of restructure things there. And we'll see how the market takes it this morning. We might not get a whole lot of movement because we're just back to where we were before, but eyes are on it. Let's see if it can trend up or down this morning. All right, perfect. Let's stop here. Peter, let's head over to community events and announcements. Let's look at our what's happening on this beautiful Wednesday evening.
It's Wednesday. So first, apologies to everybody. Jared has been really, really sick the last couple of days. So we have rescheduled the Tuesday webinar that was supposed to be happening last night. So that didn't happen. We did let you know in the middle of the day in the room when we insisted that Jared take the night off, but he was in no shape to do that. Anyways, he did get into the room this morning and did the engineering the markets, and we deeply appreciate that. So hopefully he's now taking a rest and recovering from his exertion. But tonight we do have our webinar with Dr. Kenneth Reed, who will be here talking about how you can find that missing element, the thing that might be missing for you, and add it to your trading mental journey. So his webinar called The One Thing That Might Be Missing for You should be a good one. That's going to be happening at the usual time, 8 o'clock in the webinar room, and hopefully you will join us for that. If you can't, as always, by the way, these are always recorded and put into the Education Center for all of our elite members. You can watch them at your leisure, but it's always more fun to join live because you can ask questions and directly interact with Dr. Reed. So if you can, join live. If not, it's recorded in there for you if you're an elite member. Next week, we've got the Journey to Mental Resilience delivered by Wesley. He's going to be here again, 8 o'clock, usual time, for that session. Don't forget, on Wednesdays, we also now have our new Bookmap, which is more of a technical session. Nathan's going to talk about how you can leverage Bookmap. He'll answer questions about how to use it, configure it, and how to benefit from it. So that's at noon today in the webinar room. So hopefully you'll join Nathan for that. We appreciate Nathan putting that session on. He's been a long-time member here in the room and has joined us as part of the team. So look forward to him sharing sharing his insights. He's been using Bookmap for a little while, and he's always up on the new technologies. We were talking about, Nathan, if you're out there listening, we were talking about you the other day, as you were the guy with the VR goggles, and you were trying that, trading using sort of over virtual reality, which was freaky, man. I just didn't think I could do it. Sounds cool. I always wanted to do what was that, Carlos, do you remember what was the name of that movie? It escapes me now. It was Tom Cruise movie where he was like,
which one? He
they
has
had
so
people
many.
that predicted the future. The Minority Report. Thank you, Indy. There you go.
Minority
A lot
Report.
more.
Yeah.
Minority Report. I like trading with a Minority
Yeah.
Report type screen and just a glove and that. Like, to me, that would be awfully cool. That I'd like to do. But trading with a VR goggle right now, I don't think so. It's not quite, technology's not quite there. You could track my eye and figure out where it's going, and then I could just think the commands to take a trade. I mean, terribly dangerous for anybody that's an overtrader, but for me, it would actually be pretty good because it would probably, I'm an under trader, so that would actually be very beneficial. But anyways, there you go. Somebody's posted a little meme for
I don't want to be the beta tester on that. Nike looks good. Yeah, thinking of going long. Error goes long.
Yeah.
No, don't go long, and they go short. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to be the beta testing that thing, right? Yeah, we'll skip on that. All right, excellent. What else we got, Peter?
Well, I've got Maybach asking if there's any way that BBT members can contact me. You bet. We're always available.
Absolutely.
We don't keep anything secret. You can ask me questions right here. If you want to email me, it's peter@bearbulltraders.com. I'll tell anyone. I'm always happy to hear from people. So, or Carlos or Mike or anyone of the team. It's basically our first name at bearbulltraders.com. So, yeah, feel free to reach out anytime. There you go. If you wanted to join us in the chat room and all of our friendly moderators and people, then we've got a number of membership options for you. You can take advantage of the intro offer, the basic early monthly packages, or, of course, our annual. The annual deal is always the best. And we actually have deals that go on that. So the deal we've got right now is on the intro offer for all of you out there on YouTube. If you've never done it, you only get to do it once. But you can join for $1. Just see if this is the right community for you. Hopefully, you'll consider that. bearbulltraders.com/YouTube is the link name that you've got to use for that baby. Hopefully you'll look it up. And if you want to get information on the markets, I'll just mention really quickly, tradingterminal.com. If you haven't been there, check it out. It's where we get all our information all day. It's meant for active traders. It's built by Andrew and his team to help us out in our trading, because we used to have to go everywhere to find the information. He's been bringing it all together for us. So there you go, tradingterminal.com. There you go, Carlos.
All right. Thanks, Peter. Friends, I have Baba, Tesla, Nike. Ooh, look at Tesla. Wow, okay. We're back to the low of yesterday. Let's see if we can hold here. That's the dotted red line you're seeing here right now on the chart. Says this thing, nice drop of the last couple of minutes. But let's see. We've been here before. We did bounce from there yesterday. Let's see if we are going to hold or not. If we keep dropping here, that could get very, very interesting very quickly. But I have Baba, I have Tesla, I have Nike all in play this morning. I am going to watch Apple, right? It's always a favorite of mine to look at, especially now. I see what's going on there. And then we'll add NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been also dropping quite a bit. We hit 128, 127 just about 4 or 5 trading days ago. And now we're back down to 116. Did well yesterday. Let's see if NVIDIA can continue. Volume 8.2 million. That's the kind of volume we're used to seeing out of NVIDIA at 9:15 time frame. So that's looking good. So I'm adding some of our usual suspects to the list that I already have. So let's look at Baba. So Baba right now, very, very active, selling off again. It started off like this yesterday. I was short bias, but again, I didn't get caught, on the wrong side of thing or on the long side of thing, because just my bias, I didn't act on it, which is important not to act on your bias if everything else is showing you wrong. Because if you did yesterday, you would have got your face ripped off. This thing just took off from 106 to 112. I mean, I was like, why is this thing ripping? They're off. They should be partying it up. No. they're partying it up, throwing dollars at this thing left and right. So that's what happened yesterday on Baba. All right, so up 2.5 right now, just a little bit off the highs. High of the pre-market 119.50. So we'll slam a level there as you guys slam that thumbs up over on YouTube. I don't have the likes up, but I know we need more than what we have, so help us get there to 300. That is usually our goal before Peter and I get off this pre-market show, which will be in another like 5 minutes or so. So 129, 500 people watching. If you can help us get to 300, just 170 more. That's not a tall ask at all. We can definitely do that. So I'll check back in that number in a second here. All right, back to Baba, 115.60, 58 is the low of the pre-market there. Actually, I'm showing 115, 115.68, so that's good. And then towards the bottom, over the last 2 trading days, we've seen the highs and lows doing a really good job. We got the previous day close here. I mean, Baba, just September 18 at $84. We're at 111, 115, excuse me, this morning. It's just insane. Look at this chart. It just looks like a penny stock for a second here, the way this thing is trading. Towards the top, in case we do go higher, I believe we have been higher on Baba. Or have we? Yes, we have. We got to go back to a weekly now. So we look at a weekly, 20, 23, 22. Right in here, 2022 looks like slightly above. We do have a weekly level at 125, and that's going to be a psychological level anyways, just because the whole dollar. And then we do have a 128 just in case, right? So we'll see. The hype continues. These stocks are doing very, very well. Not just Baba, you got plenty. I have PDD on my secondary if you do like that one as well. All right, let's take a look at Tesla now. So Tesla this morning, as we saw, the numbers came out. Market reacted slightly positive, then negative, and it looks like we're staying on the downside of things. Down 3.75 million shares traded. Low of the pre-market at 247.76 for now. That might not stick around for long if we drop here. But more importantly, this is your low from, let me zoom in a little bit, your low from yesterday that we're trying to hang on, right, as support now. So we're testing that level there. Let's see if that's going to hold for any longer. If we do drop from there on the daily, we got some really good levels from the previous trend we've been on. 241.91 is a good one, and then this one here is a big one. This 233, you can see the area of resistance we had just constantly banging our heads over here. Could not get above that. Eventually we broke out nicely and we made it all the way to 265. It's a $30 plus move from this breakout. So Tesla has been doing really, really well lately. So that covers Tesla. Nike, nice gap down today on news. We do have 84.79. They're pulling their guidance and all kinds of stuff until they kind of restructure themselves here with their new leader. 84.79 is the high of the pre-market and the low 81.65. And obviously the market does not like surprises when you do that. So that it's not rubbing the markets the right way today. We are down 7%, 1.8 million shares traded. Within the high and low right now, it's just almost smack in the middle. If you look at the daily right on here, we do have a level of support, a little bit of resistance as well here, and also right here, very clear. So I'm going to mark that there. You can see in the morning pre-market hours, we kind of been flirting with that as well. So we're going to keep that there. Also, and then towards the bottom, in case we lose that one, the 81.65 on the daily, we do have 80.16. So great level there as well. If we take a look at Apple is actually pretty quiet. I mean, it's not really in play. I'm going to be watching it, so I'll set levels. But again, it's pretty quiet. We'll wait for the market to start moving and see if Apple's going to just follow suit. Again, more of a possible, but I'll do levels for it just to be ready. 224.49 is the low of the pre-market, and our high of our pre-market is going to be over at 225. 226 really, and then above that, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. I got you covered. And then towards the bottom, in case we lose this low of the pre-market, we do have the lows from yesterday right here at 223.69. And then below that, we have right over here, it's another level around 221.36. So great daily level there as well. You can see how many days are opening, closing, and just slamming into that. And I love all these wicks over here, right? So just look at the buying pressure over and over and over and over again, just keeping the stock around that 221 level, pretty strong there. So that's support level. Let's look at NVIDIA here. So NVIDIA, a great volume, 8.3 right now. We're slightly down. We were green this morning, back down earlier today. So it's just kind of a bit all over the place, but volume is there. Somehow it continues to drop, right? So we had a couple of gap up days and sold off yesterday, really nice. And we're gapping down again today, just slightly. 114.70 is the low of the pre-market. Towards the top, you just got to mark down the high of the pre-market. Above that, your cover highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. You don't need to add anything else. Below our pre-market low, which is at 114.71, we do have 113.28. And then the big levels all the way down here. I don't think we'll get there, but this is the big level. You can see how many days are slamming into that. It's 109.06, right? That's the major level. There is a minor level. If you go back to around August, looks like here, if we have 111.67, right? So if we have that there, July, August, you have that daily level as well. That's worth noting just in case we do drop here. But that's it. Baba, Tesla, Nike, Apple, and NVIDIA for me. Secondary list. We won't do levels for those, but I have PDD, HUM, and Oxy on our secondary list. Peter, what is our team watching this morning?
Everybody is watching Tesla. So let me just start there. Tesla, 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 Tesla. Okay, so everybody's got Tesla on the list. So let's go through what else they're watching. Lenny's also watching Nike, JD Baba, and NVIDIA. Mike is just watching Nike. Pierre is going to be watching NVIDIA, AMD, PDD, and Baba, so some Chinese stocks in there, of course. Avi's going to be watching NVIDIA and doing options trading. Paris is going to be watching Nike, NVIDIA, Baba, and Apple. I am also going to be watching AMD and NVIDIA, of course, and then I'll keep an eye on Dell, Nike, and CVS. We actually have 4 IPOs today. Well, FVR, I keep on calling it Fiverr, but that's not the company. But anyways, we got 4. And Click, isn't that weird? Every time I see this IPO name, Click, it brings me back to like the early days of the internet when we were watching clicks and stuff. Nobody cares about that anymore. But anyways, seems like an old school name, but it's a brand new IPO. So I'll let you know when those things open. Other than that, what else we got? Thor is going to be watching NVIDIA, Baba, and of course the indices, the SPYs and Qs. Phil is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, Baba, and Apple. Who have I missed? Brendan is going to be watching Baba, Tesla, and PDD, and I think that covers everybody. Haven't seen Brian yet. He hasn't come in with his list. I'm sure he's actively preparing it. And man, I'm just watching Tesla here. It is moving down now. It has picked a direction for sure. So now people are now reporting the numbers stayed consistent. So the delivery numbers for Tesla, just to be clear, everybody agrees they delivered 462,890 vehicles. What everybody disagrees on is what the target was. So, people are saying, some reports are saying, well, to match last year's number, they had to deliver 516,000. Others were saying, well, the target was only 463,000. But it's I don't know. Apparently, the people are voting anyways with the share price, and right now they're saying it's disappointing. So we'll see what happens. Again, when the opening bell rings, just be careful. I'm skeptical about what Tesla's going to do. I don't know that it's going to continue going down. This feels like an overreaction to me. But again, I've been wrong on this many times, so I'm probably just going to have to sit and watch because I don't know. I mean, if it does a rising devil, meaning if it pops up and then shows weakness, I might just take it short. But we'll see what happens. Tesla. What fun.
Awesome.
What fun. Tesla's usually
Awesome.
good for delivering fun.
It's funny. I'm here. I'm chatting with Brent. Brent, I hear your keyboard. You're typing so loud. We type back and forth. So much that goes on to run this thing, guys. On the back end, it's unbelievable. The guys do a great job. Brent and everybody else in the back end. And I'm typing with him. We're going back and forth. Like, dude, your mic is loud. I mean, your keyboard's loud. And he's like, it's not me. It's like, it's you. I'm like, no, it's not me.
You. That's you, Carlos.
Probably
and we look over.
It's probably me.
But
No, it's Thor. It's Thor.
Oh, it's Thor. Oh.
Good morning, Thor.
Thor.
We were not sure if he was typing with his fingers or with his hammer. There you go.
Good morning, Thor.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good to see everybody this morning. Man, a little bit of spicy this morning with the old with the Tesla here. This is kind of with Peter. This does seem a little extreme, but we had a ton of selling. So the book emptied out pretty well. Basically, the 260 to 250 range on the order book went empty right before the news hit. So as soon as the news hit, all of that volume was just spiking up and down, up and down, up and down because there was no orders. So it was just hitting the top seller, bottom buyer, just wicking back and forth.
Interesting.
quite disgusting.
That's what was happening.
So we finally built the book up a little bit, and we found an order at 245 we're trying to hold right now, and they're trying to restructure back. And we have a ton of sellers between like 262 and 270. So there's actually a lot of sellers up higher, which actually is normally indicative of a bullish book, not a bearish book. So it'll be really interesting to see if this could be a liquidity grab, or they're actually coming down to get to grab. We're actually right down into a buying range on the month now on Tesla. So it'll be really interesting to see. This could be a true blue trending breakdown, could be a really bad day for Tesla, or it could be quite the opposite. It could be like a dead cat bounce. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays. Don't make an assumption either way. Maybe wait a few minutes, see how things, start to kind of bounce around, and then should be a fun mover one way or the other today.
Well, everybody knows I agree with that. So trade smart, everybody. Brian, Thor are going to take you through the open. So have a good one.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.
Yeah, you too. No, Daniel, I don't trade equities in pre-market. So it's too spready, not enough orders on the book, too easy to get slippage, and auto stops don't function very well. So no, sir, no trades for me on that one. Profit of profit. How are you doing this morning, good sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. How's everyone doing this morning?
Doing quite well, man.
Doing all right. Ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I didn't. I thought they only missed. It looked like, from what they saw, it looked like Tesla missed their expectations by like about 400 cars on 420 some odd thousand. So it didn't seem terrible, but the market's not taking it well this morning. I would have thought that that they would have been struggling with their EV sales, particularly with all the competition that they're getting in China. China's pumping out those EVs, new car companies all the time.
So, yeah, for sure. I think Zen Trader makes kind of a decent point, which is I don't think it was that they undershot. I think it's people were actually really expecting them to overshoot. So it's just kind of like having it. It's like not only was it a miss, it was like they were expecting a beat. So it's kind of like the market. Yes. But you could see as soon as that news came out, I mean, we just got blasted with. I mean, I think we probably sold about 250,000 shares within just a few minutes. Yeah. I mean, so somebody emptied out their drawers on this thing. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. So certainly it has something to do with the expectations. Definitely, CVD is only 87,000 to the red, so it's really not heavy selling.
Sorry to interrupt your wise words, but could both of you share your screens in the BBD chat room?
Wise words! How dare you?
Wow. Okay.
That was a compliment.
I know.
Yes, for sure.
I don't like it.
Thor, what's the matter? Is it cold? Is it cold there today? You're not wearing your muscle shirt.
It is cold today. It's only 74 degrees this morning. I had a beanie on when I dropped the kid off at the bus stop. My head.
Keep that head warm, eh?
Hager says, "Who is that person who speaks in between?" That's God, Hager. Hello, God.
Hello.
We'll have to do a behind the scenes introduction because I don't know. Have we done like a?
I guess not really. I just pop up now and again.
Brent, we need to do a Brent introduction. We got like 2 minutes till the open, but we should do like a Brent introduction. That would be really cool. What am I watching right now? Oh, by the way, hi YouTube. How's everybody doing over there? Gonna open here soon. Let me look at the ES real quick and see where we're at there. We got screen shares going on here in the BBT room. So if right now you're seeing the, God screen basically. We're in here we got full screen share going. So just if y'all are bored, we got some stuff in there. Y'all can pop in here and see the screenage. Depending on likes, maybe we can do some things for screen share based upon likes. Like if I can get you up 300, 400 shares, maybe we can start throwing our screens onto the YouTube and stuff. But we'll see how that goes. But ding coming for you in 10 seconds. Yeah, I got sweet talk the boss on that one, so we'll see how it goes. As we're opening right now, the ES is opening in a low end of a buying range. So, but we are in a lower range, so we can go, we can easily move lower here. Tesla's finding a buyer right off of that level to start. So let's see how this thing opens and see if we can have some fun.
See if we can have some fun. Just along a little Tesla, just for to be part of history here.
Yeah, be a part of history. The order book actually has stacked fairly bullish in the short term here, so no reason to think this thing can't. If it gets through S4 here, it could actually run up to 252. Just be careful because we opened in the selling range. So if this rejects hard here, don't get in its way. It'll
just took some profits there. That we popped through 249. And now we're dropping hard. Just can we get out of the rest? So that didn't work out. Just pretty much flat on that trade.
When you caught out, I went short, so I'm short 248 for an S4 trending breakdown.
You might have sold. I might have. No, you sold.
I think you sent me your shares.
Yeah. No, I sold shares. You sold shares.
So y'all can see here.
You can see what it does here.
Brian bought this pop as it squeezed up into S4, and then when it came and made the new low,
it did sell some, and then had some slippage on the cover on the rest.
I might get squeezed out on this. If I do, it'll be okay though. But this is a pretty solid play. If this goes into a trending breakdown on a tight range, this thing can sell really hard. And there was a lot of selling in the pre-market. So
let's see what it does.
See what it does. I wish the order book was a little heavier right now, but we just brought an order on higher, which I don't love. But I had a great day yesterday and the day before, so today is kind of coming in as like a no pressure day. All right, what else can we look at? Look at the market here.
NVIDIA is kind of popping up here.
No good levels on the market yet.
And long
Tesla's catching a bid here.
Again.
Yeah,
I'm long Tesla again.
But
it's at the VWAP, so and I'm selling some here, 248, 70. Okay, so here we go again, 249. I'm taking some profits again here, 249.30. Okay, that's a better trade on Tesla.
Yeah, that was a really nice read there. Good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out of that one here in a second. Yeah, I'm out. Well, boo. It was a good read. It dropped really nicely there, but it just, I should have paid attention. There was a lot on the bid there.
Let's see what
let's
it does
see if we can
here.
find something else. 1 down, 3 to go. Dalton, you really can't tell if the bid is on YouTube. You can't really tell if the buying is a short covering or a bid or a person going long. Generically, how we tell is by observing the interaction of the book. So what I mean is if you see buying occur, and as there's buying, you see more orders to sell being put on higher in the order book, then you can kind of make a base assumption, right? That, you can kind of make like an assumption that these are buyers are going long, right? Because you see sell orders coming out above. Generically, when shorts are covering because they're just returning inventory back to their broker. You know what I mean? Because of that, you won't see those orders coming out to the top side.
All right. Well, I'm back out of Tesla again. I don't know what it's going to do next. I am shorted Apple a bit here.
Oh, nice. Apple did look weak. I want to see if Apple gets down to S4. I might try and play it when it gets down to around 223.
Yeah, just covered some at 224. See, it's got some more orders to the downside, but we are coming down to this level here, which is yesterday's low. So I'm expecting a bounce here. So I covered a lot of it. Still have some more orders at 223. Qs are kind of rolling over a bit here. NVIDIA had a bit of a pop there and now a drop. Popped up to pre-market high, rejected. Okay, Apple, where are you going? Going down more? Maybe not.
We have a lot of these tech tickers are kind of in selling ranges right now.
Yeah.
We can go a lot lower on the SPY and Qs. They're both in mid ranges right now, so everything can go lower if it wants to. It can go higher if it wants to because we're mid ranged. So there's not really anything in the way. I like Amazon, Raph. I see what you're saying. Good short towards 184.20. Sell, big sell, and then a light squeeze.
There's just a buyer here on Apple at 224, but I think we're still going to head lower here. I'm long some UVXY as well as we sell off here. I'm still long in my swing position too, so just day trading that as well.
Q is still selling.
Nicely. Yeah, it's going to UVXY will work nicely as a bear trade. Okay, I'm going to sell some UVXY here, 28.80. I'm still trying to decide what to do with Apple. Apple's still holding that yesterday's low. Ooh, Baba just dropped.
It's definitely interesting stuff. I don't know if I have anything like I'm just super got a clear read on, so I'm kind of just hanging for a second, seeing if some stuff can get into a little bit better of a position for me. I'm feeling like I got juked out by Tesla.
Oh, Tesla's looks like it's heading lower again.
I know. Rude. NVIDIA's book? Hannah?
I need Paris to read the Apple tape for me. That man sees things that I don't see.
That's a fact.
It's like he's like Neo on the Matrix.
He's just like, no.
Yeah. Sees dead people.
So NVIDIA's book is relatively balanced, which is why it's chopping a bit right now. There is a really good size order at 115 that looks like it's probably the primary buy order. So I would say and there's a void of orders to the top side back up to like 117.60. So it looks like we're more actively selling on NVIDIA than in buying. And I would say we're likely going to move towards 115. At least the way the book looks right now. Unless something changes here in the very near future, it looks like it's going to try and move lower. They are bringing on a sell order at 117.50. So if we do start to squeeze, that's probably where we go. But there's not a lot of orders in between here and that 117.50. So it just seems like there's a lack of interest to sell near the price. And if that's the case, we'll move lower.
UVXY, I'm just getting ready to sell more here, 29. Actually, I might just sell some here because this is R3, 28.94. Here we go. Sold some more.
Hassan on YouTube is asking why I don't trade small caps. I'm not adverse to small caps, Hassan. I just and I know many people are. I'm not particularly adverse to them. My only issue with them is they're not in play often enough for me to make a regular living on them. Like if you're going to play small caps, you have to be very, very specific and be willing to have days where you don't trade at all. And then on the days they do come active, you need to be willing to trade like a fiend, but if you don't have that balance, and that's where a lot of the big furus go wrong, is you'll see they have these really horrible, massive loss days because they get washed out basically because they're just trying to force stuff on tickers that don't work.
Yeah.
So I like high caps because the commissions are actually less trading high caps than small caps. And I can get big moves holding fewer shares and take advantage of the liquidity. And that's the other thing too, is the liquidity. You don't get bad slippage. You normally have tighter spreads relative to price and things like that. So there's a lot of reasons I prefer the mid to high cap over the small cap, but most importantly is just the lack of frequency. Low floats for me just aren't alive often enough.
Yeah. Trading small caps or low floats is a completely different game.
The book is completely backwards.
Yeah,
you have to read the book completely backwards basically when you're doing those. Like in high caps, we run to our large orders. In small caps, we run from our large orders. So you almost have to play it completely backwards. Yeah, DA in the YouTube, I agree with what you're saying there.
All right, I sold some more UVXY at 29. 1:05. Still, we're still uptrending and still downtrending, although we are getting down to, like yesterday's low on the Qs. Yeah, we already broke through yesterday's low on the SPY.
Rocking and rolling.
Here we go. Finally, Apple's kind of gave up that 224 level. Let's see if we can get down to 223.
I got some good questions coming in on the YouTube.
Yeah.
I have Thinkorswim. Do you recommend I use DOS with it or switch to Interactive Broker? So Thinkorswim is a platform, not a broker. So you wouldn't switch from Thinkorswim to Interactive Brokers. Thinkorswim or TOS is the platform like DOS, right? So DOS works really well with Interactive Brokers. Thinkorswim is Schwab. Yeah. I have Schwab with my Thinkorswim. I use Schwab. It really depends on your trading and what you need to do, right? Because it depends on the platform. DOS is an incredibly fast platform. So it has insanely good fills, especially when linked with Interactive Brokers. You know what I mean? And it can really do some great things. But I mean, you know what I mean? You'll have to take a look at that. You don't want to, I don't know. It's really up to you. I have DOS with Interactive Brokers. And it works really great, but I could easily be trading with my Schwab account and Thinkorswim, which I use Thinkorswim for my for all of my analytics. So, some good questions. Betty, you don't like the questions?
Yeah.
What do you like, Betty? If you want me to look at stocks, if you recommend or ask for stock you want broken down, I'll look at the stocks too. I just kind of go what everyone's asking for. If people want questions, then
yeah, and
I answer. I'm here to talk.
I covered Apple. It's just not. It's at yesterday's low. It kind of feels like it's not going lower. So covered the rest of Apple, and I'm mostly out of UVXY, partial all the way up there. So still holding a little bit, but we're right at the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart, and I'm going to see if it bounces here. As I mentioned, we bounced on the Qs pretty close to yesterday's low, completely expected, which is why I kind of emptied out my UVXY position for the most part. So we are getting a bounce there. S3 bounce on SPY, Thor.
Nice. I'm short Amazon right now because Raf told me to go short. So hopefully that keeps working.
Oh man.
And I did reshort Tesla. And I'm seeing if that goes.
Hey, we got Jared in the room. Jared's got one of those giant ice bags on his head, thermometer stuck in his mouth, but he's hardcore.
J-Rad.
He's in there trading on his deathbed. Never say die.
Hi, Daddy. You're talking about Bookmap.
Let's
do this. Since it's still the open, we'll focus on trades for a few minutes and make sure we're kind of get through a little bit of this like opening session. Then we'll talk a little bit more. I can even do some questions like more at like 10:15. Let's say, actually, we'll let you guys right now. I have a little thing. Let's see. Do we want live trading commentary or would we like me to answer questions in the YouTube? If I see a massive burst in likes, then I'll know it's because you want me to comment. If I see no likes, then I'll know it's because you don't want me to answer questions. And then I'll say in like a minute from now, I'll say, do you want live trading? If you want live trading, then you can like, and then I'll see which one gets the most.
Well, I'll stay with live trading, but you can answer.
I'm live
questions.
trading as well right now. I'm also live
Yeah.
trading. But once we're in the trade, there's not really so that's what I was saying in the room. It's if you have a specific ticker you'd like me to talk about or analyze, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, right now I'm short in Tesla and I'm short in Amazon. My target for Tesla is S6. My target for Amazon is 183.65, right above S3. You now know everything I'm going to do for the next hour. So, but not Brian as much. I guess I can just hang.
I have no positions right now. Kind of trying to figure out here. I got out of the Apple trade just before it reversed. Got out of the rest of my UVXY trade. So just trying to figure out where we're going from here. We had a big bounce in the markets. So wow, Tesla's really getting kind of getting crushed here. New low of day.
Yeah, come on, Tesla.
Where are we going with this on the daily chart here? Whew. This is an area that might find some support right here.
Yeah, we're going to go down near S6 here in a minute. But we went up first before we went down on Tesla, which would insinuate that we distributed before moving lower. So if we'd have went to S6 first and bought, I'd be considering a long on Tesla, but I'm already back short on it. So I need to get to about a little through 241 and I'll hit my target on this one.
There's an area where we had some resistance and then broke out from on September 23rd, and we're at it right now. This 243 sort of 50 area.
I think Tesla's going to head to its 50 SMA on the daily.
Yeah.
I think this thing's going to drop.
It's looking weak, my man.
Looking weak. Oh, here, let me show you. I'll show everyone in.
I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, 240.
So my first short was here.
Yeah.
Really short. I think we can get to a floor level today. If we go into it's a pretty tight range. It's a good range. I think we could go into a trending, continue this breakdown. I think that news came out, shook them a little bit. Tesla's biggest high value area for the past couple of months is all the way at like $227. That's where it accumulated before it kind of went on this most recent transition to find new value area higher. And it never really established a new value area. So this news kind of hits it when it was in kind of a delicate spot. It hadn't really found a support level yet. So there's no reason this can't go all the way back. It would be like monthly S4 for those of you who use cams. It'd be like 232 maybe, or something like that. It could be pretty serious.
Apple did a bit of a 920 there, came back up through the 9, hit the 20 EMA, and now it's back at low of day.
So I'm gonna what I like to do is a compromise, because I don't have a 10 o'clock today, which I normally do, so I can hang longer today. So what I'll do is, if we can get to 500 likes by 10:30, I will stay on from 10:30 to 11 and answer everyone's questions in here from 10:30 to 11. That way I can keep us open for live trading until 10:30. So if you guys want to stick around and you want to throw the likes on there, then at 10:30, if we've got 500 in here, I'll do a 30-minute Q&A session for everybody. If you
sorry,
don't throw the
Thor.
then we'll roll. Oh no, wait, we might already have a 10:30.
Yes, we do.
Dang it, we already have a 10:30. So false news.
Who have we got? Who's on at 10:30?
We're gonna have Rafzilla, actually.
Oh wow!
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
We have Rafzilla at 10:30. All right, so I'll do. I won't make you wait as long. Then I'll do from 10:20 to 10:30 Q&A.
I think that's fair.
And
the
then,
response,
and then because I don't like it, and then Rafzilla on at 10:30.
They like to
I
see
do
the
want to
live
answer
trades.
people's questions because they want that, but I don't want to I do understand why the people want the live trading. That's what they're here for. So I'm trying to find a compromise so everybody happy.
Wow, yields are up a bit today. Not sure why, but more concern about inflation picking up again.
Moment of truth on my Tesla trade here. We're down by S6. So if we're going to find a buyer, this is where they need to find it at. This is R4 last month too.
I'd be looking to get into that short if we got up close to the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart here. But we're kind of working our way across here. But I don't know if it looks like it's just going to keep going down here.
Order book looks pretty bearish right now. So,
yeah, I agree,
Tesla.
100%. Yeah, I've got Tesla's order book up right now. It does look like it's going to 240. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, we have a really good sized buyer at 240.
Nike looks like it's longer term. I think it's going to head back into the 70s again.
See how big this 240 buyer is. They've been on since pre-market.
Yeah, they loaded it up a bit more as the morning's gone on here. It's a great thing about Bookmap.
Yeah, this is exactly where they should find a buyer if they're going to, Brian. It'll be right here. If it's not here, I don't think I would buy Tesla for the rest of the day if it doesn't buy right here.
No.
Because this is also a big monthly breakout level from last month, where we did an engulfing breakout last month on the 23rd from here. This level, exactly this level. If we lose this level, then we've lost that buyer, which that's a big deal. We could easily go lower. SGH, it's I have my own calculation that I use for cams. So I use slightly different trading hours, and I use pre-market or no pre-market data just based upon it. So that could be why it's a little different. Toss that one in there just quick. I'll answer questions if they're super quick, so I can mix it in between the trading stuff, but no longer ethereal concepts that I have to get into. I don't want to snooze everybody just yet. Manny, how tall are you? Between 6 foot and 6'2", depending on which gas station I'm leaving.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Thor is a tall guy. It's kind of an uncomfortable moment when Thor and I get together, because we get together and we hug, and I'm like, I feel like his little brother.
Yes, we kind of spoon a little bit when it happens.
There you go.
There we go. That woke everybody up. Now we're talking.
For sure.
God, look at this buyer hitting right here, man. This is just stinks. Come on, at least go hit the 240 buyer. Look at this. This is monthly R4 from last month. So where that breakout initiated off of, right off of this level. So it's just, look how well these levels work. No reason for it to stop here other than just hitting that spot. We're going to squeeze
long
a little
AMD.
bit here.
I just got long AMD. It looks like it's trying to break out here.
By the way, when is Andrew back? Dalton, nice. I don't know. Whenever the weather clears. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's just Brian and me forever.
We don't know. We don't. You never know. I'm just going to sell some AMD here. 63, 160, 63. Getting a nice move on AMD. Look at this volume. Look at this volume that came in here. It just blew through this this area of liquidity. Not a lot of orders to the downside, just mostly upside here. So let's see what see where she goes from here.
Wasn't paying attention. ES did get down to a good buying spot. Should have been paying. It literally hit right into a really good level, but that's cool. It's rolling over a little bit now. So what is going on? There we go. Still holding.
Right. This could be this is right at the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. So.
Dang.
Nvidia's popping here too. Come on, AMD. Come on, AMD. Give me 161. We're right at pre-market high, which is why we're stalling here. There is a R3 level. We're right at 161.
AMD came off of a really nice buyer at 223 and does have two sellers, one at 224 and one 224. So that looks like a solid liquidity hit there. So we might be getting a bounce here. AMD is in a lower range, and that is S4. So that's actually a pretty nice spot to try and tag that, if you were thinking about it.
Yeah. Here we go. Selling some more here at 83, 160, 83. Just because we're just getting real close to this R3 level. Kind of feel like we're gonna reject here. Here we go. Come on, baby. A little more. I'm going to empty it. I'm just going to dump the rest. 161. Let's go. Here we go.
There you go.
All up.
I'm not sure if. I mean, Tesla hit a really big monthly level and bounced. So I don't know. I don't think Tesla's bottoming here. So I'm still holding. There was not a VPA signal that insinuated that Tesla's bottoming here. So I think we're having a relief rally, which is basically where we just got so low in the price, our sellers stopped selling. So our shorts are starting to cover, which is squeezing the price. But we didn't hit a giant buyer. Like, we didn't bounce because we hit a big buyer. We just ran out of sellers. So I'm not really thinking this is a reversal, although short squeezes eventually can turn into reversals. So, but I think we're going to pull back up and then probably start selling again, but we will see. I'm just holding it.
Could be interesting as a 920 trade.
I like crude here. It's rolling over under R3. Crude futures. I might throw a few contracts short on November micro crude. Let's see what happens. Let me check the book. I like its position.
What is going on in the Middle East?
We have a crude. We have inventories. A crude future for the micros is MCL. November contract. I don't do. Hold on. Sorry. November contract is X. So it's MCL X24. Well, that's what I was thinking. Crude really popped yesterday, so I was thinking maybe we fill some of that.
So I took a bit of a short on Tesla. Just we went back down. I'm using options actually. So
futures are just a product kind of. It's kind of like some people trade options. Some use futures, but they're contractual ways to interact with the market. But I wouldn't say you need to like graduate into it. I mean, I find options very confusing for me, but I'm kind of a simpleton sometimes. But futures for me are kind of like trading an ETF. Once you kind of learn the point value, it's not too much different. I actually really love futures because they tend to trade very well. Not more predictable, but once they tend to do what they do. I really like how they read. Their order books are easy to read.
Come on, Tesla, let's go lower.
Yeah, Tesla, Brian, shorted you. Help me out.
Yeah. Like that little topping action there. I'm just
did that little
hoping we go back down
pullback
to low of day.
We might bottom here on Tesla. Obviously, it has been selling for quite a while already, but it's normally for a reversal, you would see significantly larger volume than this. Think about like if you try to turn a cruise ship, I mean, it doesn't happen on a dime. So just having it just kind of peter out down here and then to expect it to go into some big lasting rally, highly unlikely. But Tesla does Tesla things, so I never make an assumption on it, but there are orders up there. So if they want them, they can go get them. It's like 252 to 255 has a ton of orders up there. Yeah, IG, thanks. The thing I don't know with that is how to like factor in like decay and stuff like that. Like I see some people like when they trade options, if they end up getting stuck, because I hold my positions for a really long time. So I end up getting into it. If I end up holding it for half the day, does that end up like, I just have to put some effort into it and so many options.
Yeah, you're not going to get any or much in the way of decay if you're just day trading options.
I just got to
if
ones or whatever.
Decay becomes an issue when you're swing trading or position trading, and then you got to be aware that it can work in your favor if you're shorting options, and it can work against you if you're long a position and you're out of the money. Or even in the money, if you played a high premium. So, yeah. But as a day trade, you're not even if you're holding for a couple hours, it's not going to you're not going to see much. It's called theta. you're going to get much more movement based on the movement of the underlying price of the option.
So you guys can tell if you come by BBT, you got someone who knows how to explain that to you if you want to learn about it.
Yeah.
I want to learn about it. Just for some reason, I can't get that stuff to stick, man. I put it in there, and it's kind of embarrassing at times. True story. Like my first IT job out of school was actually working for an options trading platform. I used to do tech support. Had no idea. No wonder they were so mad at me when they called. And yeah, they'd call and they'd be like, "You don't understand how much money I'm losing right now?" And I'd be like, "No, actually, I don't."
I have no idea.
I really don't. Sounds like a lot, though. I'm like, but maybe you should like hit the little Wi-Fi button.
Yeah, if you're trading the zero DTEs, obviously you can get some decay, but again, you can get some decay if you're holding over hours. But usually the markets are moving around over those hours too. So again, the underlying security is what's going to move the price a lot more than theta over an hour. NVIDIA is looking like it's trying to break out here. The Qs look like they're going to go green, and the IWM already has gone green. So there you go. IWM small caps going green on it, and on a day that yields are up, just sort of a little bit counterintuitive.
Brian, question from YouTube. Not to like throw too many in here, but I'm going to do this one because I'm actually interested in the answer. When you took your Tesla trade here utilizing options, why options? Yep. Why not just do the stock? What advantage did you have, or what made you want to do the options instead?
I think it's like I like to trade options as we get a little bit further into the trading day. It gives me a better return. So my options trade went from $4.50 to over $5 on that Tesla options trade. So that's like 10%. And and what if I'd have shorted Tesla? Sort of 244, and now it's trading at 243.40. That's like 40 cents on $243. It's really not a great. It's not a great return. So if I can pick up on a trend later in the trading day, I kind of like to move to options a little bit because it's like I said, a little bit more efficient use of capital.
That's awesome. See, that's really cool. So that's good to know. So a lot of those, one of the things I know too is options, like for those of you, depending on your account size, I know options can give you some opportunities where, even if you don't necessarily have the world's largest account, you can still take advantage of it and stuff like that, which is pretty awesome. Man, really quick shout out, Gary L, man. Congrats, man. Well done. And we have one of our members here in BBT who has been hitting his stride lately, and each day seems to be a solid day. So we survive and we thrive, buddy. So keep with it, keep focused, and don't get too happy. Stay. Just keep doing you. Don't change anything. You know what I mean? This is working, so keep doing it.
Yeah, Zero's had a good day today. Seems to always get some good trades in there.
I gotta start doing that. My keyboard is loud. I was just typing to YouTube and I think I could hear my keyboard. was like, wow.
It lets me know when you log in.
I have one of those like nice big fat ergonomic keyboards because I type a bajillion words a minute, but it is like right under my microphone. So, but I have a big, eyeball around it, so it's supposed to help, but not enough.
Okay, we can't. Tried to get Bill Green on the queues, kind of rejected there, which is not surprising. Very obviously we're going to have some resistance.
Easy. Reading the level 2, you're exactly right with what you said there. It always feels like the order book tends to read in the direction of the stock is going. That is true. So the general rule of thumb is over time with volume, price will move to size on high caps. So mid to high caps. So over time with volume, price will move to size. So once you recognize the imbalance on your book where all the big orders are, you start using the tape and volume and price analysis to actually judge, are they able to move to the size or not? And that's pretty much the easiest way you can do VPA. Gives you a great starting off point.
Just trying to figure out what NVIDIA is going to do here. Looks like it might try to pop up again.
Yeah, I'm still in Tesla.
AMD. Yeah, AMD's popping.
I'm also long in Apple now. So
nice.
We actually, the ticker got pointed out to me by, I just blanked out. What's her name? I want to give her credit.
Hannah.
I think it was Hannah.
Was it Hannah?
If I can find it. Hannah, was it you? I think it was Hannah. I'm just going to say Hannah, either way. Okay, cool. It was Hannah. So Hannah was asking me about Apple's book, and then right after I looked at it, Apple did a beautiful wick right to S, right here. Hold on, let me pull up Apple. Did this beautiful wick right to S4 on the lower range and caught some volume there. So I went ahead and went long in it. Let me show you the trade itself. Right here. Look at this beauty.
Look at Brian from Seattle riding that AVGO trade. That's nice trade. Just nice grind higher on that one.
So Apple also had some orders. It came off of this big order and had some orders coming out to the top side. So it looked like we had found a buyer because we had sell orders coming out. So it's a good one. Any advice on dealing with the slump?
Thor,
what's up,
bud? We get to 400 likes on YouTube, I'll share your screen, and you can show them your trades for the day.
More likes. I can show you my losing Tesla trade, and I can show you my current Apple trade. That may or may not be a loser. We'll just see what happens. So far, it is winning, but it is not a winner. And Tesla's number 2 trade could end up turning into a loser by the end of this day because my freaking target was on the other side of S6 because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Well, Rick, I guess just advice I would give you is, are you following your trading plan, or are you, taking trades that you normally wouldn't trade, and that's causing your win rate to drop? The second thing I would suggest is, it is possible that you're in a different kind of market. You kind of always have to be adapting. So that's the other thing. If your win rate's dropping, maybe you need to fine tune your strategies. Go back and look at them again if they're not working. Because it does happen.
I think that's a really good one. I think that's a really good point. A lot of people don't underestimate how cyclical the market is, and it goes through different cycles. So if your system was very, very active a few months ago and was working and producing a lot, it might have had something to do with it was a very strong bull market. We've been selling and chopping a lot the last month or so. So I've been doing really well the past month or so because I do really well in chop. But a couple months ago, I wasn't doing as well because we were in an aggressive bull market. Every time I tried to short, it just kept going up. Right. So, do keep that in mind as well. That is it related to a specific time in the market? If you look at the market, I think Brian makes a great point there.
We just need one more like to get to 400, and then we'll switch over.
Oh, come on. One more.
Like.
Somebody's got to move that mouse.
I think someone just took a like away.
Incredible. Funny. What is this audience? Come on. Thor, Brian, giving great live trades.
That was awesome. We did it. That's so funny. That was the best.
All right, we made it. I'm going to share your screen.
That was the best. Whoever did, there was someone who did that, and whoever you are, I love you because you have my sense of humor.
That was great.
I know someone did that. I know why you did that, and I appreciate it. That makes me very happy. Thank you for that moment. All right.
So I'm gonna before you get going here, I have to drop off. I got to head to the airport,
all right, buddy,
because I'm going somewhere. So hope everyone had a good day. I'll leave you with Thor for the next 10 minutes, and take care, everybody. We'll see y'all on Friday because I will be away tomorrow. Bye for now.
Awesome, buddy. Safe trip, my friend, and safe flight as always. And we'll talk to you later. Always too much fun trading with the profit of profit.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, good old profit of profit, man. Thanks, buddy. I can't say enough about this guy and how awesome he is. I don't think people realize how much of just a backbone of the BBT community that guy really is. So it's awesome. He's kind of like part of the origin story, really, which is so freaking cool. So all right, so we have my screen up, YouTube land, so you can now see my first loser was a short here. Tesla with the miss had a lot of volume come out and it squeezed down, it pulled back, wicked into S4 and came down. I went short, stuck my stop just above that and lost that trade. But then it set an isolated pivot here, right? Still at S4. I still believed in the thesis overall. So I reshorted using that high.
Interrupt. I think when Bryant leave, it froze.
I froze
my screen. So if you can restart it. It's probably not for everybody, but it is for me. And I don't want to restart just in case we lose.
Froze.
Thank you.
I have frozen. You see nothing. And that was all the secrets of the market. I just showed it on my screen. Everyone in BBT saw it. But sorry, I gotta go. So no, I'm just kidding. All right, come on.
Yeah, Firefox, not that great.
All right, reshare.
There
Should
you go.
Be up now.
Yep.
You seeing movement?
I'm seeing movement.
Sweet. All right, so check out this sweet little Tesla trade here. So I went short here, S4, took a stop. Boo. But I believed in the thesis overall, so I reshorted the low and put my stop there. And now I'm aiming towards this big order that's at 240. And that's where I'm hoping I will get my profit out. Let me show you that order. And then I'll go back over to my Apple trade and show you why I did that. So this is what I'm talking about. Look how aggressively tiered to the downside this order book is, all the way to 240. See how empty it is to the top side? So we have a lack of interested sellers to the top side, but tons of people wanting to buy lower, right? Short covers, perhaps, maybe, right? Interested institutional buyers, maybe. You know what I mean? But since, with the concept we talked about before, with volume over time, price will move to size. Well, we've got selling volume, right? And we have lots of buy orders to the downside. So if we have sellers that are willing to sell and we have buyers that are willing to buy lower, we buy lower. So at the same time I'm shorting Tesla, I'm long Apple. right? So when I looked at when Hannah in the BBT chat room called out Apple as being in a really interesting spot with an interesting book, I took a look at it, and what you notice here is Apple came down to our S4, which in a lower range is where we like to buy. You can see it came down into here to 223, hit into 223, and then came off of it, right? And then we actually had a secondary buyer come out in the way as well. So this provides additional support, making this look like a very good long. So even though I'm short in Tesla because we were in the right spot to long, right, Apple, I went ahead and longed Apple. So you can see here, here's us hitting that 223 buyer. We wicked off of that buyer and then made a new high, showing that our sellers were being overwhelmed, right, by the amount of buying was going on. And we made that high. So I went long there, stop the loss of the buyer, target 4-1. So Mohammed in the room has spammed me a few different times. So, and I appreciate your exuberance. So I do want to make sure I answer your question, which is the new risk reward strategy. It's an incredibly uncomplicated strategy. Basically, it's 4-1, all or nothing. So what I basically do is when I isolate a trade, I will buy it, and I'm going for a 4-1 target. Ideally, to make sure that if I have a low production day, for instance, like if I take 3 losers and only have 1 winner, which is like what I did a few days ago, I still end up with a couple R for the day. But if I have a really good day, like yesterday, I actually went 4 for 4 yesterday. So I ended up putting, 16R into my account yesterday. So, and I risk, a couple $100 per trade. So that ends up being a very good day. So, which is awesome. Bookmap is available in a couple different ways, Brian. My number one recommendation is actually to get it through Bookmap. Global Plus or one of those programs is always very good. Pleasure, Mohammed. So those are always really good strategy sets to use. Global Plus works really well. If it is pricey, so if it comes off as a little pricey and you are US based, one of the things you can do is get a Thinkorswim and go through Charles Schwab and get Think, and you can actually get Bookmap for, I think it's like $40 to $50 a month if you go through Charles Schwab. So if you like using the order book, if neither of those work for you, you can get a similar order book in a program called Sierra, or Sierra Charts has a similar order book, right? So, but the in-house one that we prefer the most is Bookmap, which we have a really nice relationship with them. I present over at Bookmap from time to time, and it's absolutely a great place to be. Good peeps. So, so still holding Apple, still holding Tesla. Tesla's went right back up to the 50 SMA and rejected that and is now trying to move lower. See what I mean, everyone, when I talk about volume and price analysis, I would be expecting a very large volume spike if we were hitting our large buyer. And I think we're going to find that spike will be more down at the 240 area. So until we hit that primary buyer, we should be continuing our transition lower. So right now I'm still waiting for us to hit 240. I think that's where we're going to find it. There we go. For those of you interested in Bookmap through the main one, we just had our production guru posted in the promo code, save you 20% on that, Bearable 20. So if you're interested in do that, check that out. Appreciate it.
Okay, Thor, I got Rapzilla, otherwise known as John. He's ready to go, and he's going to talk about his experience with the BBT chat room and why it's kind of changed his life. Well, maybe that's exaggerating, but changed the way he trades. So if you want to sign off, we'll switch over to him.
Sweet. Thank you, everybody out on YouTube. Really much love and appreciate hanging out with everybody. Just a little shout out for my guy, Raph, that's coming on. He basically, you may not know, we're actually related. Once you see him, you'll understand. So no, I'm just kidding. He's from South America. I'm not. But he's one of the most genuine people I have ever met in my entire life. So when you hear this guy's experience and what he's saying, if nothing else, just take from it the genuineness of the things he's saying and then let that kind of guide you when you're going through that information. But I appreciate everybody out there. Thanks so much for spending your time with Bear Bull Traders this morning. I hope you all have a great rest of your trading day, and as always, keep it green. Thanks.
Hello,
Thank you,
Rapzilla.
Thor. How you doing, Brent? Can you hear me?
Doing well. Yep. Loud and clear.
Good. I want to thank the amazing Thor for the kind words. I'm getting teary-eyed here. Yeah, Thor's one of the here, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all the moderators, all the traders in the community. And so I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about how I found Bear Bull Traders and when I joined and what I encountered, because I think a lot of people, especially in YouTube, are wondering, they're not joiners, or they are just, there's so much on YouTube that is just trash. And you're like, oh my God, do I really want to join a community? But here's what happened for me during COVID. And I was just wondering what the hell to do with my life. I had been teaching tennis for 10 years, community tennis classes, etc., private lessons. And then with COVID, that stopped. So I was looking for something to do. And a friend of mine talked to me about his stocks, particularly Tesla. And I was very interested in this. So I thought, well, I have my Robinhood account, so I will look into Tesla and Robinhood. But I heard someone talk about a day trade, not know what that was. So I went on Google, Audible, and I found Andrew Assis's book. I think most of us who are a part of the community have done that. So I read that and I go, oh my God, this is interesting. I reached out to Andrew, and he was very responsive, and he said, hey, give us a trial for a week, see what you think. Now, of course, in my email to Andrew, I expressed my fear because I didn't know anything about day trading, and I was afraid I was joining a community of experts. What I found out is that the members of Bear Bull Traders, man, spectrum is incredible. You have people who have never traded in their lives and are just looking into it. You have people who have been trading for 10 years. So I was feeling a little trepidation because I wouldn't understand the terminology or what was going on in the chat room when people mentioned this or mentioned that, using terms I never heard before. But it's kind of like learning how to keep score in pickleball. It takes a while. So not that I play pickleball, by the way, I'm a tennis person. But as with anything, it takes a while to learn what's going on. Now, it's really enticing to many people because I think many people think of it as a get rich quick situation, and it is not. And you learn that very quickly. Believe me, when you join a community, or if you were to test the room for a week, and you see people making, like Andrew Aziz or anyone else in the room, making thousands of dollars, you think, oh man, I want to do this. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of time, years. So this is an important lesson for people to learn. But getting back to the room, so I joined. Everyone was so upbeat, happy to meet me, guiding me, answering my questions. I got to the point where I became one of the most active members in the chat room because I was learning from others, and I was passing that along to other people who were just joining as well. In fact, that's why Andrew asked me to become a moderator, so that I can help people at my level. I'm still learning from everyone. And to me, this is one of the most important considerations. It's just not about day trading. It's about learning something new every day. I don't know what could be more exciting. I don't know that I even felt this way when I was younger, but I will say this. I'm at a point in my life where, God, it's so much fun to learn about anything. I have people teaching me about apps, people teaching me how to do something in DOS Trader Pro, people teaching me their style of trading, and everybody's got a different style of trading, of course. So I think the acceptance, the warmth, a very large community. I've made friends all over the world, and planning to visit many of them when I can afford to do it. See Avi in Dubai, or go down and see some of our guys are trading out of Colombia, South America. And the other cool thing about it, and one reason I really, really got into this, is because I knew that I could do it anywhere in the world.
I would still have my friends at Bear Bull Traders. I would, as long as I have high speed internet, I'm good. I can go to, and I plan to live in South America. So that is on my list of things to do. And I can do day trading anywhere. But getting back to the community, it's an amazing community. I think a lot of people are not in a position to participate because they already have full-time jobs. They can't invest the time. And like anything else in life, really do invest the time. We have a lot of people in the community who are have full-time jobs, and they're doing this on the side. Not that it's a hobby, but that they're trying to learn over time. If you listen to any one of our top moderators, top traders, they didn't get to where they are overnight. It took them years. And if you don't have the patience to, to learn how to day trade over a 2, 3, 4, 5 year period, you may not get involved. It's what I teach my tennis students. If you take one lesson a week with me and don't play the rest of the week, you're wasting your money. So it's kind of dipping that toe in the water and just kind of holding back in a way, because once you see what's going on around you, the temptation is to dive in, start trading live immediately, something one should never do. And that's not the approach that you need to take. You need to it's kind of, I'm going to use another tennis analogy. I have students, they'll take 2 classes. They're just learning how to hit a forehand and a backhand. And here's what I hear, the question I hear. When do we start playing the game of tennis? It's a legitimate question, but they don't even know how to serve or volley or understand the game. It takes a long time before you're actually playing games. And then once you do, you should do it what they call paper trading or sim trading, where you want to trade in simulation and work on your game. It's kind of like practicing tennis and playing with friends. And then when you go live, you're basically going into your tournament phase. So I guess that so many of us, and I'm the same, thought that I had done enough training and I thought I was ready to go. But once I went to live trading, it kind of flipped me out and I learned a lot of valuable lessons. But thankfully, I had help from not only other moderators, but from many of the other traders. I learned more from our members than they learned from me, that's for sure. And so if you like learning and learning every day, something new, if you find that exciting, this is a place to go. Yes.
I'm going to share a screen showing YouTube what the BBT chat room looks like, and maybe you can go through kind of some of the features it has.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And also BBT chat can see and chat to our YouTube audience if they want.
Yeah, I am actually not seeing the variable. I'm sorry, the YouTube. I should probably separate that tab.
That's okay.
All right, let's go into the. Let's go into the. Yeah, so we're showing the Variable Trader chat room, correct?
That's correct. This is what it looks like.
Okay, good. All right, so here's the deal. We currently have 648 people in the room. A lot of people are telling you what they're doing or what they're trading and how they're doing in some cases. And you will see comments, responses. And this is the cool thing. You get to interact with people everywhere. And, you got to understand that while it's only 10:39 in the morning here in the state of Maryland, it is like people are trading at various times all around the world. So with some of our traders are trading like in Dubai or in Europe, it's much later in the day, and they're comfortable with that. They like trading at that time of day. But anyway, so let's go through the room. We have comments from traders in a lot of California and Canada traders, people, Romania, nice. So you get to find out about other countries. Believe me, this is not just about day trading. This is about creating friends and family. So we're often referred to each other as family. There's a support tab up here, and we have a genius by the name of Aviation in Mexico, and he answers a lot of the tech questions up there when others can't answer them. We also have an options tab, and we have a couple of big time options traders, and Megan and Jared, and they teach options. So if you're into options, you want to take a look at that. And they do that a couple of times a week where they'll actually do an hour together, essentially a training discussing options. Let's see here. We even have a tab for people who speak Spanish. We have a lot of Espanol here. So if you are wondering about language, we do have English as well as Espanol. But by the way, Andrew's book is published in how many languages, Brent? Do you know offhand? I think it's probably in about 7 or 8 languages at least.
That sounds about
Connecticut,
right.
North Carolina, yeah, Spain, Nebraska. Look at all these people. Virginia, Washington, North Carolina. Yeah, we'll talk about Singapore. Wow. So it's kind of fun. I think that's one of the attractions to it. Day trading is, for me, fun. I'm learning every day. I'm having fun every day. I'm meeting new people every day. I'm learning from those people every day. It's just insane. And my wife looks at me and shakes her head like, what are you doing down there? You're having so much fun. Are you making any money? So there's always that. We also have, if you look up at the top, there's an alerts area where we post links, savings on various applications like Bookmap and things of that nature. We're going to have anybody who live in the Boston area. You don't have to be a member to go to this Bear Bull Trader meetup in Boston in October 25th. Get to meet people. So I highly suggest anybody who lives in the Boston area, you go to that and meet Andrew, meet John Hiltz, who lives in that area, plus a number of other traders. And there'll be people who are not members who will be there. And you can find out firsthand what this is all about. So we also have, above that, we have our moderators who are posting their watch lists, which is kind of important. Everybody is focusing on 2, 3, 4 stocks and every day, and they're going to post the ones they like. So that's cool as well. Let's see, what else do we have? It's an opportunity to participate too. Very, very interactive.
We also have access to Bazinga. I'll show that right here.
Oh yeah, Benzinga is a lot of value in Benzinga. We lost it for a while. We have it back. A lot of people really depend on it for updates on the market. So I think too, as you might find if you were to scroll up on the alerts area, that with trading stock, it's not a good idea to follow someone. On the other hand, when you are hearing other people say, well, look, I see this happening with NVIDIA today, or my analysis of this stock is the following, you get a sense to look, you're able to look at other people's point of view about a stock. You may not see it the same way. You may see Tesla going down today. Other people are going to think that it's going to come back up. And you get to hear rationale, other points of view. It's a really wonderful, wonderful discussion of what the stock market is going to look like. And, it's for me, it's become as you said, and you actually weren't overstating it, Brent. It has changed my life. I've been doing this now since 2020. And yes, it's only been a little over 4 years, but I can't imagine doing anything else for the next, well, who knows how many more years I'm going to live. I don't think we want to talk about how old I am, but I'm one of the older members of this community, older in the sense of animal years, somewhere in the 456 year range. So I'm happy that I found this late in life, if you will.
And another thing, Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, you kind of mentioned it, and Thor mentioned it today. You get a lot of great trade ideas from the people in chat. Even the mods get trade ideas from the people in chat. So as you said, there's a real community here that you can learn from and engage with.
Absolutely. When you think about it, there's 7,000, more or less 7,000 stocks to watch. We do have scanners, but you can't watch everything. And then somebody comes along, and like Gary L will come along and say, man, I'm check out this stock or check out that stock because it's had this announcement or it's moving exponentially. I mean, so you get a lot of great ideas. And you'll often hear Thor or Brian say to that person, "Thank you so much for pointing this stock out to me. I owe you a some breadsticks and a salad at Olive Garden." So I think yeah, it's a great community. I'm glad I'm a part of it, and I think most of us are. You very rarely see people leaving it. It seems to me everyone's still here. Someone mentioned yesterday this is their 9th anniversary. I'm thinking, wow, it's a long time to be a part of a community.
I think to wrap this up so people can get back to trading, maybe chat, PPT chat, let the YouTube audience know how much you like this chat room. And John, let's wrap it up. What's your final say on your experience with this chat room?
Yeah, I think the most important thing to YouTube people, and I've heard this from friends, by the way, they can be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. It's not, I'm not saying day trading is easy. In fact, it's very difficult. But don't let that scare you. At least learn about it and see if it's something, find out what kind of a person you are when you're day trading. We learn a lot about ourselves from day trading. Even though I've lived as long as I have, I'm still learning that, oh, this is the kind of person I am. What style of trading is going to suit me, the kind of person I am. And that's important to find out. So don't let the lack of knowledge hold you back. If you're going to, unless you're so overwhelmed with life and you have no time and energy to learn something new, I say you at least explore. That would be my recommendation. Explore it.
Thank you so much, John.
My pleasure. All right, people. Have a great day and see you all in the room.